Welcome to Creator Weekly Live for June 16th, 2024. I'm Peggy Kay, and this week there are some big updates for YouTube. They're finally rolling out their thumbnail testing feature, and there's a bunch of other tests they're running. Apple announced a whole bunch of new generative AI features that will be built into their operating systems. X, formerly Twitter, changed the way likes can be seen, and they also changed access to their analytics. And there's a bunch of other smaller updates I hope I have time to get to. So let me get started by saying hello and welcome to everyone who's here in the live chat. Also, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I hope you're having an excellent day. And, if you're not a dad yourself, you're able to spend some time with your dad. So let me get started by saying that one of the most anticipated features from YouTube in a long time is thumbnail testing. And people call it A/B testing. It's really more like ABC testing because you can test 3 different thumbnails. And YouTube calls it test and compare, which is maybe a little bit more boring sounding, but it's what they call it. Let me see. Oh, no, they'll switch this back. All right. So what is test and compare thumbnails? I think that one of the things that is really difficult for me personally on YouTube is creating a good thumbnail. I am legitimately terrible at doing this, but the thumbnail is like the ad for your video. It's what people see, if they're scrolling on YouTube looking for something to watch. The thumbnail is what is going to catch their eye, and it's got to give people sort of an idea of what the video is about and be enticing. So there are a lot of tutorials out there on how to make thumbnails, but then how do you know if the thumbnail you made is any good? That's where test and compare comes in, where you can upload 3 different thumbnails for a video. And then YouTube runs all of those thumbnails at the same time. So it kind of splits it between who sees it so it's evenly distributed. And then it tracks how much watch time is generated from each thumbnail. And as you're running this test, which can take up to 2 weeks, depending on how many impressions there are in your videos, it tracks how much watch time is generated from each thumbnail, and then it picks a winner based on that. So it's not a winner based on the number of clicks, because that is actually just selecting for sort of clickbait thumbnails. It actually takes into account how much people watch the videos as well. So you've got to have a thumbnail that gets people to click, but then you've got to deliver the actual video content that people want to watch. So how does this work and how do you get this feature? First of all, it's rolling out to all YouTube creators that have advanced features enabled. You can check that in your YouTube Studio under settings for your channel. And there's a tab that lets you see which features you have access to. You might need to verify, or if your channel is in good standing and it has a good history to it, you should have access to this automatically. Eventually, it will take a little bit of time for YouTube to roll this out to everybody. So a couple limitations: you can only set up a thumbnail test on desktop. So if you mostly use your mobile phone, you will have to switch to desktop to use this feature. And you can only run a thumbnail comparison on public long-form videos and live stream archives saved as videos and podcast videos. So those are all essentially your long-form videos on your channel. So you cannot run the thumbnail test on a scheduled live stream, which is too bad. I think that would be useful. And you cannot do this on shorts. And you can't do it if your video is set to be made for kids. So is there anything else about this? Oh, sometimes there isn't going to be a winner. You're going to put 3 thumbnails out. There isn't a clear winner. In that particular case, YouTube will tell you that, and then they will just show the very first thumbnail that you uploaded. So you can cancel the thumbnail test at any time. You can pick any video you want, and you can run these tests multiple times. So I think this is a great new feature. I've been trying it. Maybe I'll get better at making thumbnails, hopefully so. I wanted to say hi to everybody who is here live. Jolyn has a question. Has anyone seen the new player layout where the title, description, like button appear to be the right side of the video? So this is a new layout that YouTube is testing. They've been testing various iterations of this for a while, I think. I will say that based on what I've seen, a lot of people hate it. Additional next videos have moved down below the video. Yeah, it's a total rearrangement of how the channel video player page layout looks like on desktop. If you have access to this, and I think if you have YouTube Premium, you should have access to this if you want. Send feedback to YouTube about what you like, what you don't like. Don't just say, I hate it. Say why you hate it, because YouTube ultimately wants people to like it enough to watch more videos. That's their goal. So check it out. If you have it, send feedback. Jolyn says, I think it actually works better for me. And yeah, you have YouTube Premium. I think that some of the negativity may be that people aren't used to it. It always takes people some getting used to when they change the various layouts. So we'll have to see what YouTube does. Ultimately, though, I assume that they are tracking people's behavior, because what people say and what people do aren't necessarily the same thing. And send feedback if you have access to this. So I wanted to actually bring up a few other things that YouTube is testing. So this is a great segue into the next thing I was going to talk about. And first of all, I wanted to say I actually thought that these are things that you guys might be interested in. Let me blow that up a little bit bigger, because that is teeny, teeny, tiny. So this is a list of YouTube's current test features and experiments. These are not limited to YouTube Premium, but there's no way to opt into them. So if you have access to these experiments, send feedback if you like them, don't like them, but know that they may disappear because it is a test. So YouTube is currently testing AI-generated live chat summaries. So the idea is if you have a really busy, active live chat, you can see a summary of what people are talking about, which is kind of neat. They are testing YouTube channel QR codes. So that a QR code is an easy way to share a link where people may not have the option to click. A QR code lets people scan that with their phone usually, and it will go to the link. And They are also testing Google Lens search. If you use Google Lens, which is built into Android, and I think it's built into Chrome as well, the idea is that you can use Google Lens. You do a search, it can copy text, it can translate things, but this is Google Lens built into YouTube search, and you will get relevant YouTube content as your search results, which sounds kind of neat. And then finally, they are testing user-generated effects in shorts. So this is an experiment that gives creators the ability to design and publish their own unique effects directly to shorts. And then anybody can use these special effects, which is kind of fun. So you can tell that there's sort of a theme to all of this where, these are generative AI things. Google is trying to integrate generative AI tools everywhere, and they're going to see what sticks. The other update, a small one, and it may not affect anyone here watching this live, but your handle on YouTube. So the handle is the @ after the youtube.com. Originally, handles basically had to be in English. Now they support 75 languages. So if you had your handle, your custom URL previously in, say, Japanese, then you can have your handle in Japanese as well. It may be reserved for you, and if you do change your handle, YouTube reserves the old handle for 14 days, so you can switch back. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this is something that Jolene brought up, if you have YouTube Premium, there's a bunch of experimental new features you can test. This is for a limited time. So if you have YouTube Premium, you should go to youtube.com/new, N-E-W, and you can see what experimental features you can try. There is a redesigned watch page. That's available until July 1st. That's on the desktop web. You can ask questions and get AI-powered answers. This is basically like chat. And you can do this while you're watching a video in the YouTube Android mobile app. And those are the two currently running experiments for YouTube Premium subscribers. There may be more in the future. So if you like to try things out, check it out. I want to say hello to everybody who's joined the chat. I see Andrew and Escuela Digital. And let's see. And I see Eileen. Welcome, everyone. Yes, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope you're having a great day. Alrighty, so those are the YouTube updates. A lot of experimental things. The test and compare is the big update for this week that is rolling out. All right, so let me switch gears a little bit to the latest update from Apple. So they had their Worldwide Developers Conference, and I think it should surprise no one that there were a bunch of updates about generative AI. Now, it's interesting that in the sort of AI space, Apple has been running a little bit behind other platforms like Google and Microsoft have been integrating these things into their various services and tools for like a year now. So this is a big deal that Apple's finally launching this. They have their own generative AI model that they're using, Apple Intelligence, very cute, right? AI, Apple Intelligence instead of artificial intelligence. So just a few things that they announced this week. These are not available yet, I don't think. They may be in the next system update for the iPhone, iPad, and the Mac. This is going to be part of, the core operating system built in. They are going to integrate Apple Intelligence with writing tools to proofread, rewrite, and summarize text. You can get summaries of the most important emails and Apple Mail in the Notes and Phone app. You'll be able to record, transcribe, and summarize audio. There's a new image playground that lets you generate images. It's built into messages and notes. There's natural language searching for photos and videos. So you open up your photos, you can type, find a picture of someone wearing a backpack with a sunset or something like that. There is a photos cleanup tool to remove objects in the background. You can create photos memories into movies by typing a description. And Apple Intelligence will pick out the best photos and videos based on the description, craft a storyline with chapters based on themes identified from the photos, and arrange them into a movie with its own narrative arc. And there's improvements to Siri using Apple Intelligence to understand language. And sort of a big update is that Siri and writing tools would be able to pass your queries on to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will be built in, this access. You won't have to pay any extra for it. So this is a great tool. And Apple says that while ChatGPT will be built in to start with, they may give access to other large language models like Google's Gemini. And this is all a big deal because it's not just that everybody's, got these AI tools integrated now. It's that Apple is integrating them into the operating system and giving access to all these tools for free. Even Google is charging extra a subscription for all the Gemini tools. So this changes the stakes a little bit for companies who are offering AI tools, because if Apple is including them all in the operating system, why would anyone pay extra? So this is going to change the economics of all that. Now, we don't actually know how good these tools are. They're not available yet. The other thing I wanted to mention really quickly is that if you have your own website and you don't want Apple to use your website's content, there is a string you can add to your robots.txt file saying, please don't use this to train your next AI model. It's Applebot extended. If you want more details, there is a link to my latest post in the video description, or you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter with all these details and instructions on how you can make these changes. And I want to say thank you for Jolene to say, hit the thumbs up like icon and support my channel and watch. That's what I would like you to do. Watch, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. And this is a perfect segue into the next update, which is likes on X, formerly Twitter. So likes, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Likes on X. Now, I know a bunch of you are over on X, formerly Twitter. And so this update will affect you. Let's see. As usual, I have way too many tabs open with this information. Um, so the next update, if you can see that, is from Twitter X. They are rolling out a change where likes are no longer public. Now, what does that mean exactly? What does that mean exactly? Likes are no longer public, which means that if you like a post on X, you can see that you liked it. The person who posted can see that you liked it, but nobody else can see that you liked it. And that means that nobody can go check out your profile and see all the weird and maybe bad things that you liked. Um, one of the reasons, there's two reasons that X is given for this change. The first is that it's a privacy issue, which is kind of true, although if you know that the likes are public, you should know better. Lots of people, though, have been caught out by liking porn or whatever, bad politics, really nasty things. The other thing, though, is they say, well, now you should feel free to like more posts because that will make your For You stream better, which is probably true, right? Give them more information about what you like, and you will see more like that. But then you can't complain that you're seeing terrible things in in your feed if you've been liking them or responding to them. Is this a big deal? I don't know. There's a lot of talk, there's a lot of joking about it, but actually, most social platforms do have the same sort of privacy for likes. For example, YouTube a couple years ago made it so that your liked videos are no longer shown to anybody else other than you. So this is probably a good change overall. It may mean that some people get more likes on their controversial posts because people feel freer to do that. Does it make a difference? I don't know. I'm sure it will be touted with, oh, there's so much more interactions and so forth. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, just really briefly related to X, is that X, Twitter Analytics, was available to everyone. Me, non-paying people, anyone. That is no longer available. X has launched advanced analytics for premium subscribers, and they have turned off the old analytics.twitter.com link. If you try and go to analytics now and you don't have a subscription, you get prompted to subscribe. So this is one of the big changes, partially, I think, switching from twitter.com to x.com because the old analytics were on twitter.com. But this is also obviously to try and get more people to subscribe. Is it worth it? I don't know, because I'm not really using X or Twitter that much, but maybe this will make it worthwhile if you do. Eileen says that I don't think people remember that likes are private on YouTube also. Even the content creator can't see who liked their content. Yes, that's exactly true. So on X, if you like something, the person who made the post can still see that you liked it. So if you like something, that creator could actually share that information. On YouTube, it's completely private. Nobody can see who liked a video, including the video uploader. So like away. But be aware that that is going to affect your For You, your home feed on YouTube. YouTube uses that as a signal that you like it. You can also give it a thumbs down, and that means you don't like it, which seems obvious, but some people may not realize that doing that helps craft what YouTube suggests that you watch more of. So like the things you like, thumbs down the things that you don't like, and your recommendations should improve. So those are the big updates this week. A couple small things I wanted to mention is that on Twitch, they are introducing a new fan funding option. It's called Power Ups. If you're an affiliate or a partner, you can have this over on your Twitch channel. And Power Ups are message effects. So if someone is posting, they can pick a message effect to make their message stand out. You can have emojis go over the screen, or you can post a giant emote if you want. Now, all of these things cost bits, and those bits then go to the channel owner. So it's a way to support your favorite creators on Twitch and, make the live stream chats a little bit more fun. I think this is really interesting. Eileen says you don't use the home feed on YouTube, you use your subscription feed. And Craig says same thing. I think that's really super interesting because I don't. I stopped using my subscription feed. I mostly use my home feed because it shows the videos I subscribe to. It also introduces me to other videos that I wouldn't necessarily watch or know about otherwise. I occasionally check my subscription feed to make sure I'm not missing anything big, but for the channels where I really don't want to miss a video, I have notifications turned on. So I think that's interesting. And my impression is that most people do not actually use their subscription feed. So bear that in mind. Even if you do, other people maybe don't. So that can affect their behavior. All right. Really quickly, I will just mention WordPress.com has a new hosting dashboard. If you use WordPress.com, you should check that out. It sounds like an improvement. There's a link again in this week's newsletter. And one fun thing I wanted to finish with is Google has a new lab. It's called Gentype. Gentype basically lets you put in a generative prompt and it will generate an alphabet from that. And then you can type things in that alphabet. I won't run a generation right now. They have some examples. So you can make an alphabet that is from a star constellation map in the night sky above. That's this prompt. You can see it's made a bunch of letters, and then you can go up and type. Type, and it makes, a cute, fun image. You can save that as a ping image. I think that is actually a fun thing to play with, but you can see the bigger version. It has one of the big limitations of generative AI in that each letter is generated so that they don't exactly match each other. So if you, as a human creator, were making an alphabet, you would make sure that the style matches and that they go together, because each letter is generated sometimes they don't quite match. So it's fun, but it doesn't really, it does not actually look like a person did it. All right, lots of updates this week. That's what I've got for you. Thank you so much for joining me live today. And I hope you join me next week for more updates and tips. Have a great rest of your weekend and a week.